it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. This is the place where women over 60 come to be inspired. Now, my guest today is Penelope Whiteley. Penelope is a speaker and an author of 4 books. She is a change catalyst. She likes to help women to reinvent themselves in their 60s and to sort of live life on their own terms. She has been to 57 countries and has lived in 7. And she offers online programs for women who are trying to, make sense of life in their 60s. And she offers travel tours as well, which we're going to be talking about. So welcome, Penelope.
Thank you, Margaret. It's lovely to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. I had to stumble over 57 countries. That's quite a lot of places to have lived in this beautiful world.
Yes, but there's 197 in the world, so I've still got a long way to go.
You've got tons of places to go. Well, thank you for being here because you are a change catalyst. I've taken a look at your website and, women who are looking to kind of change the way they're living their lives in their 60s is what you're all about.
Yes, it is. Because I think too many of us, when we reach our 50s and then we move on into our 60s, we still live within the expectations of others instead of saying, this is me and I'm doing what I want. Thanks very much.
Well, you are going to resonate 1000% with the 60 and Me community because that's what a lot of us believe too. And I like the phrase earlier you said about getting unstuck. You help women to get unstuck in places that they just, find themselves as they make that transition.
Yes. I think if you're going to get unstuck, you might as well do it somewhere beautiful like Florence or the Amalfi Coast. That's my opinion.
Well, I know you love that part of the world, and we'll talk about that later. But what I wanted to chat with you about in this video is this phenomenon that, basically all of us face, and that's graying hair. And how to, what it is, how it comes to be that we are blessed with this gift, and how to deal with it, how to color your gray hair, how to deal with some makeup tips, perhaps, just things that are going to help you be comfortable with your graying hair. So, Penelope, you've written a book on this.
I have. It's called Grey Hair and You, and I wrote it as a result of women who have grey hair or whose hair is starting to grey or who want to be blonde and they can't because they have grey hair. And there was such a general cry of agony when it came to grey hair and just not knowing what to do with it. Too many women were having conniptions.
No.
I didn't want to write a book about the change from grey to, because that's everyone's personal journey. Yes. And I think what most women want is to know what to do with it when they've got it. The good, the bad, and the ugly, really.
Well, that's such a useful way of approaching it, I think, because getting down to the practical things you can do is really helpful. I mean, it's the how-to guide. And I'll mention to people who are watching this that the book is just about to be published. So if you're interested in getting a copy of this book that Penelope's written, just go to her website, penelopewhiteley.com, and she'll let you know when it's available. So it's lots of topics covered to do with gray hair. So
if they sign up, then they will be advised as soon as it's available.
Right. So let's just start at the beginning. Give us a teaser here of what is in this book, because you start off by talking really about how hair turns gray, why it turns gray, and, how to deal with that initial, phenomenon, the myths around graying hair.
Yeah, there's a lot of research actually being done about grey hair. They've discovered the gene that turns hair grey. They're working on various systems which will stop hair turning grey in the future, but I think that's a little too late for us. And really, it's just part of the aging process. So can we stop it? No, we can't. Certainly not at the moment. Maybe in 10, 20, 50 years' time, but not right now. That first grey hair, whether it appears when you're 12 or 76, it's that moment when you think, oh, I'm old because I've got grey hair. And it's really not that bad. You just have to learn what to do with it that suits you. So grey hair is really caused by our hair is dead. The shaft of a hair is keratin, and it's actually dead. So even when it's dark, it's still dead. When it turns grey, it's because we no longer have any melanocytes, which are color-producing cells, injecting color into the melanin of the hair shaft.
Okay.
And when you look at a hair shaft, a transverse image of a hair shaft that is grey, the other thing you see is a lot of air bubbles. For some reason, no one knows why, but when hair starts to turn grey, it starts filling with air, which is interesting. Maybe that's why it becomes puffier. Who knows?
So it gets coarser because gray hair, my gray hair is coarser. It's a little thicker. Maybe that's it. The
Yes.
bubbles. Wow.
Yes, that is one part of the greying
Yeah.
process. Your hair becomes very coarse. For
Okay.
some women, it really is a bit of a disaster. It's not just coarse, it's curly as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you really do seriously have to look at using silicone as a conditioner. And people say, oh, you shouldn't put silicone on your hair. I mean, goodness, if you're 60 or 70, I don't think we need to worry any longer about, another 50 years longevity, to be honest. Put silicone on your hair.
Okay.
Also,
That's a
one
good
thing they know is that as we age and as our hair becomes more and more grey, we are producing more and more hydrogen peroxide. It's naturally produced in the body.
Oh,
But as we
interesting.
age, we produce more. So we're sort of like little walking bottles of bleach, if you like. Maybe that's why we turn grey as well.
Wow, this is interesting. So, okay, so all these things go on, and we end up with gray hair or white hair or whatever it is. And some people will, we'll do articles on gray hair, and people will say, "Oh, well, I'd be great if my gray hair looked like that beautiful model's gray hair," because, as you said, some it's salt and peppery, or some of it's coarser and curly. But overall, what can we do? What's if you want to color your gray, or you want to, make it part of the new you? What do you suggest? What's the best way?
I think if you've always been dark, grey is quite a change and can be
Mm-hmm.
a bit of a shock.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to continue colouring it dark, then you must understand that you're actually going to look older because our hair grows grey for a reason. It's soft. It's softer. It's softer for our faces, which now
Mm-hmm.
have little wrinkles and little things like this.
And lighter colors. I mean, it gets less vibrancy in it. It's sort of more of a flat color, I've noticed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with the color too. So be careful if you're going to continue to be dark because it can age you hugely. If you want to if
Whoops.
you want to if you want to transition,
Did you just drop your
um,
laptop computer? I know you've got an iPad there, so just keep going, Penelope. We're going to
I'm going. So if you want
wait
to
a second.
actually
Hold on a
transition
second. Let me just
to a
hold on.
lighter color,
Do you want?
sorry,
I just said, do you want to get it organized because it was shaky? But are you okay?
is it shaking now?
No, no, it's not. Okay, we're
Good.
good. So if
It
you
was exciting before.
no, it was kind of a surprise. I was like, what happened? Where did Penelope go? She just disappeared. But okay, now we're back. So you were telling us about coloring gray hair. If you've got dark hair.
So if you had dark hair and your hair is now pepper and salt, for example,
Yeah.
I think there are several ways you can go. And the best way is always, in my opinion, to go for foils, light or dark.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a lot of grey in your hair, try putting in some very dark foils because that will give you a lot of punch.
Now, foils
And
for those people in the United States are the because I don't think they're called foils there, but highlights.
highlights, but these are
Yes.
low lights.
Exactly. So lowlights and foils. In
Lo-
Britain, as you probably have guessed, Penelope is from the UK. So she's going to use words like foils, but lowlights. But lowlights in.
Highlights, low lights,
We've got
little
it.
bits of colour wrapped in foil.
Okay, we got it.
Low lights are great. One of the things about grey hair, of course, can be that it's very difficult to bleach. So salt and pepper, if you want to become lighter, you're going to have to look at adding foils rather than bleaching all over because bleaching grey hair is actually very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Another way of dealing with your grey hair is to cut it short. But do we really want to do that? Some people do.
Yes, and they
Some
look great.
people
Yeah.
and it's something that you have to decide, but decide in consultation, not necessarily with friends or family, but with a hairdresser or a beautician. And really look at your face with different colors. Go into a shop and try on wigs. Which one suits you best? Not
Yes,
which do you
it's good
like
advice.
best, which suits you best. And that's hard because we can't always be objective when we're looking at ourselves. We're very subjective because we know how we should look, because
Yes, it's a
inside
good
we're
point.
still 18.
That's good. It's a good point. So basically what you're saying is if you've got dark hair, you've got some options, low lights, just be careful with bleaching. You're pretty much going to have to let the gray come in or color it. So those are your choices. If you have blonde hair, it's a little easier because you can maybe live with the gray coming in a little bit. What do you think about blonde hair people or light hair?
Actually, that's very, very interesting, because a friend of mine who has been blonde all her life, and she constantly colored her hair a blonde color, obviously, it just wasn't the right shade of blonde. And she suddenly noticed one day that her roots were lighter than her hair. So she just let it grow out.
Yes.
And I think for blondes, it is much easier because they've always been blonde. There's not necessarily a great change in the color. I think one thing blondes can do is use, I don't know what it's called in the States. It used to be a product called Magic Silver White, and it's a purple. And you can buy shampoo that is
Yes.
purple shampoo.
Yes, I've seen that.
Fabulous for blondes because it just tones it down. It makes it look more of an ash color, which is more of a natural gray. Or they can just continue to color it blonde. I mean, that's entirely up to the individual, isn't it? But blondes are much more fortunate in a way because they don't have to transition from dark through different colors until they eventually reach gray.
Yes, it's not so obvious. But I think even with blonde, there's a wide variety of blonde, from platinum to this. I mean, I've gone a little bit darker with my blonde, and it's kind of that range. You can do whatever you like, and still you can't really see the gray as quickly. You still see it when it comes in because, as you say, it's almost white. But then you can just maybe every 2 months instead of every 4 weeks.
Yes, yeah. I think for many of us, the idea of being able to turn grey overnight is wonderful, but
Not
it's
real.
not.
So let's go back one more point though, and that's eyebrows, because we were going to talk about eyebrows as part of this gray hair discussion I can hardly see you now because your head is there. That's perfect. Oh, up a bit. No, it's okay. It's just I know you're holding your iPad there. We'll get fixed for the next video. But if you're doing your hair, if you're coloring your hair, you're going to have similar challenges with gray in your eyebrows. So what do you suggest for coloring eyebrows? What's your recommendation?
I think
products or strategy?
A lot of it depends on the state of your eyebrows. For example, my eyebrows are very, very thin because back in the 60s, it was very fashionable to have thin eyebrows.
And you just pluck them, yeah.
I plucked them and they never grew back.
Yeah.
I do still have some hair. I found a product the other day. It's a Benefit gel, eyebrow gel, and it's wonderful because what it does is it gels your eyebrows, the actual hair that you have, in place.
Yes.
And then when you've done that, you can add pencil.
To fill out, to make it a little larger. Yeah.
Yes. And you can also change the shape, because you can change the shape so that in actual fact you can give yourself a much bigger space between here and here.
Yes. Yeah. And you can also wear a fringe. I mean, like bangs. Actually, that does help as well.
That helps too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there are some other products as well, but the Benefit one I know is good. I actually found one called Wonder Brow with a U, like Wonder Brow, and it's similar. It's got little pieces of hair fiber, I think, in the mixture. So when you put it on, it thickens mine are very thin, like you've described yours. So anyway, there's products around, and don't pluck the grey ones. I think is good advice too.
No. People say, if you pluck it, 5 will grow back. Well, that's a myth, of course. Same as hair on your head. But don't pluck them. Just use a gel to keep them in line, unless, of course, they become like the hair on your head, very coarse and curly, and
get them under control.
Precisely.
This has been super helpful. I mean, I hope that people have found it useful. Your book is going to, I looked at the chapter headings, and it's going to cover just everything you ever wanted to know about graying hair, how to color it, what it is, how to use makeup to accentuate. We're going to talk about that in a separate video, but just check out PenelopeWhiteley.com, and she'll let you know when the book's available, and you can learn everything you need to know.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Penelope. It's great to talk with you. Talk again soon.
Thanks, Margaret.
Bye-bye for now. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our 60andMe YouTube channel and also visit our website. We are a strong and dynamic community of women over 60. We're challenging aging stereotypes, and every day we share fascinating stories, interesting questions, and great conversation.